Alright, what's up everybody? We're going to take a break from Jeeps for today. This is my 1981 Honda CT110 motorcycle. I've had it for probably 13, 14 years now, and for the past 4 it's just been sitting in a garage. So the odometer reads 14,196 miles, and as I remember, the throttle cable is not seized, but the pin in the... What? What do you want? I'm trying to do something. So the pin, the needle inside the carburetor is seized. So we'll be playing with that. I also bought oil. I will not be cranking this over at all. I already drained it. I won't be cranking it at all until I put the fresh oil in. But I think we're going to start with this carburetor problem right here. Alright, so let's take that spark plug out. I want to put some seafoam in there anyway since it hasn't run in years. Let's see what the spark plug looks like. Came off really smooth. Spark plug is probably from 2006, 2007. It's a little dirty, but it'll clean up. It'll clean up fine. Gap's still good, everything. So here's the problem that I was explaining earlier. Look at that. It's nice and stuck in there. So I think the first step's going to be to take the carburetor off. So the story behind this bike is that it was purchased in 1981, and I believe in 1986 is when it sat, and it sat outside someone's front lawn from 1986 until, I want to say, my math's so weird, it's been a long day, but I want to say it was 2004 when I got it. That might be right. And then my dad and I restored it. It had a bad head gasket, and we did a whole bunch to a new carburetor, new everything. But starting with that, and yeah, I kept it ever since. Hopefully you guys can see. See what's going on in here. Well, there is indeed a mouse nest in here, so I'm glad that I did not drive the bike. Look at that. So, well, wouldn't be the woods without a mouse nest, huh? So what are we looking at in here then? Great. It's clean inside though. We'll have to get a new one, but we can use this temporarily. So I'm just gonna put this back here for reference. Look at that. Bolt missing. Anyway, this should just come out. Alright. There we have it. Look at that. Dirty. We'll clean it up. Put it back in after. Okay. What's that carburetor look like? So carb doesn't look too bad. But it's gonna have to come apart for the needle. Wow. Anyone else know what really foul fuel smells like? Ha! Go away. See ya. That's disgusting. But on the plus side, it's not really all that dirty in there. A little bit, but nothing we can't handle. So, onto this piece. This looks pretty clean. So there's the needle that I believe is our culprit in there. And everything else is just on the ground. So I'm gonna see about tapping that a little bit and see what we can do. Okay. Alright, so all I did literally was pull on the throttle cable with a needle nose and just kind of pry it up a little bit, and this came out. The reason why it got stuck in the first place was because of this gas. So what I'm going to do is just hit it with a little seafoam. Stuff is awesome. Would be better if it could get deep clean, but it's just, right now I just want to get this running. So we'll just do it this way. And just clean it up. So it's much better now. Looks good. Not worried about it now. Shouldn't stick. It's very smooth, soft. Alright, so it's all back together. I cleaned it up. We're going to throw it back together, and then we'll see about getting the oil in. I semi-addressed the issue. We're going to need a new one, but it'll be alright for now. It's still a little dirty, but it's as good as it's going to get. I'll order a new one ASAP. I also cleaned out the airbox, so you guys remember how to put this thing back together? For the entirety of this bike's life, at least since I've owned it, and I have not had a chance to get helicoil yet. When I put this bike together originally, I did not have the mechanical skill for it to even understand what that was, but it's always had a strip bolt for the oil. So it's a 1/2 inch, if I can get it to focus, 1/2 inch universal little plug, and all you do is just focus. Jesus. You just spin this, and it tightens up the rubber and fattens it up as it pushes down on it, and you end up with a nice solid seal. So until I get helicoil later, this is how it's going to be. Last but not least is oil. I got this 10 weight 40. It's motorcycle oil, full synthetic. I know you don't have to use synthetic on an engine of this age, but I'm choosing to do so. I am only going to cut a small slit in the top because I do not have a funnel that fits something this small. So we will do this slowly. I'm not going to make you watch this. Alright guys, so it's the next day. Just wanted to go over some things that are wrong with this bike now that I have it running. Now, the first thing to address is the obvious. There appear to be some bolts missing from the exhaust, so it's very loud. What are you doing? What is... I swear I didn't give her catnip. Okay, anyway, so that's the first thing. The second thing to address at some point is the kickstart. It is, I have a bolt drilled through this, and it's over here. I drilled into this shaft so that the kickstart still functions. I'd like to get a proper kickstart. I noticed also when I was draining the oil that it might be time to take this cover off and clean everything out in there, like the filter. The other thing is a lot of the electronics don't work. So we have a headlight and we have a horn, and the speedo is completely mechanical. We have no lights here, no blinkers, and no brake light. Although I do have a brand new, this is a brand new switch for the brake cable. We're also missing a front brake lever, and I don't know what happened to my blinkers. It's been sitting a long time. When I bought this bike 14 years ago, I put all new seals on the engine, all the way around. So that's good. The engine's going to be solid for a long time. Only put maybe 1,000 miles on it, if that, since then. Also, this carburetor, so this is the carburetor. It is, here we go. I thought it was a good one when I bought it. If I can get Shang Wei, hopefully that's Japanese and not Chinese. I don't know if I have the mixture wrong or what. It idles great, but the choke doesn't, when you have it in this position, it seems to rev better at idle and then bog down when I'm riding it, and then this way seems to be the best option, but still it doesn't quite ride right. And then there's just some other stuff that needs to be replaced. Like I know the air filter needs to be changed. And this has got, I mean, when I restored it, I mean, this thing sat from like 84 until 2004 in somebody's front lawn, so it needs some work. The shocks need work, but I did paint it up years ago. So I had it for 14 years. Yeah. But anyway, so it does have the reservoir, the gas tank, so reserve tank, that's good. Anyway, so I think my goal here is to get this to run right before I even begin to, you know, make it look pretty. Because I don't think I've ever had this running quite right, and I'd like to. Anyway, so that's the end of this video for now. I'm sure we'll see plenty more of this in the future.